So I recently found myself in a rather bizarre situation where I had to pretty much face two of my biggest fears. A year ago, I made the big decision to move from Devon, which I'm originally from, to move to London. Moving to London last year was quite possibly like the most eye-opening experience of my entire life. I always thought that I was happy, and I always thought that I was very sort of myself, and I was always very accepting of who I was. And I never realized how wrong I actually was about this until I moved here, and I never realized how actually unhappy I was living in Devon, and actually how sad I was inside being in that place. Since moving to London, I've done so much things. Like, I'm more confident, you know, I've come out as gender fluid. I've realized that actually I don't just identify as cis man, I am actually gender fluid. And I feel more myself now than I ever have in my entire life. I had to go back to Devon a few weeks ago for my brother's wedding, which is a great thing, you know, as my brother's getting married. It was really happy and like joyous, and I was like happy for him. But I was also dreading the entire time going down there. You know, we were in the car, driving down to Devon. The entire way I was practically crying inside. I didn't want to go. I hated every minute of it, just driving down there knowing that I'm also like almost in Devon. And it wasn't only just going back for my brother's wedding, also I had to see someone who I've not seen for 13 years, and that's my mum. It's been, I mean, there's several reasons I won't go into, but basically she's not really a mother. So I actually was adopted when I was a child by my grandparents. After a long time of going in and out of different foster homes, I was adopted by my grandparents alongside with my brother and sister. So knowing that I had to see her again after all this time was literally one of the worst fears I had in my life, because I didn't think this day would come. Like, I knew my brother would get married, but one, I didn't realize it would be so soon. And also, like, I didn't think my mum would actually go. I think in the back of my mind, I always knew that I would have to see her again. And being in this situation, like, obviously I'm a completely different person than I was, you know, 13 years ago. So I remember getting into Devon, driving in and stuff, and we're at my auntie's house and we're getting ready for the wedding. And the entire time I was there, I was just completely scared to be myself. Because I remember a while ago when I still lived in Devon, I remember seeing an androgynous guy just walking down the street, and everyone was just staring at him and like pointing and shouting stuff, and it was awful. So, you know, I was sitting in the house thinking, do I go out in heels? Am I brave enough to go out in heels? Do I put loads of makeup on? Do I put my eyelashes on? Like, do I wear all my like colourful contacts? And it was such a weird thing to be in that situation where I was like, I was scared to be myself. And I've never felt that since being here. Like, being here, I can like walk down the street and all that, and no one bats an eyelid. In Devon, walking down the street, you'll get abuse thrown at you. You'll be like, people will stare and they will point, they will like laugh at you. Like, people are like that there. I eventually was just like, you know, screw it. Put my lashes on, I put those heels on, I did my face, and I was like, you know what? I am not gonna let this scare me into being someone that I'm not anymore, and that's not me anymore. Like, I am this person now. Getting out of that car, walking into the wedding, everyone, like, a lot of the people there at the wedding were chavvy. If it wasn't for this wedding scenario, a lot of those people would be the kind of people that would be taking the piss out of me, be hurling abuse at me. Like, I'm sorry, but it's true. It was just full of people that I know in real life would not want anything to do with me because I would the faggot who wears makeup and wears heels. And then my mum was there as well, so seeing her again, it was like looking at a different person. Like, it wasn't like looking at my mother. Although it was a shit experience, I'm actually really glad that I have done it. I know now that moving to London was by far the best decision I ever made in my life to be, you know, mentally sane, because it is a really weird feeling to realise how unhappy you were, and actually to acknowledge the fact that you were really unhappy. I don't know if anyone else has been in a situation like this. Looking back at that person I was in Devon, it's not me anymore. Like, it's just not me. It's funny how denial can make you believe that is who you are. I didn't realize how much it was holding me back and how much being in that environment was actually taking its toll on me, but I just like became used to it. Like, it's really sad to think that I became used to being sad. I was in so much denial that I thought that was happy, like that was happiness and that was what I was feeling. And you know, I did have nice times. I had a nice few friends who I would see, but it wasn't fulfilling that one part of me that really needed to be fulfilled, which was I needed the gays. I needed that LGBT in my life. People who aren't like gay don't realize that gay people need to have gay people in their life to really let that side of them actually blossom, and actually realize that that's who you need to be and that's who you need to be with. And not only about gay thing, like with the YouTube thing, there's no way in hell I'd be doing what I am now if it wasn't for YouTube. And being surrounded by your YouTube family is so funny because you feed off each other, you feed off each other's energy and like positivity, and it's like such a good feeling to know that like I'm surrounded by those people as well. I never realized that I would change this much. Facing my fears have been one of the weirdest things I've had to do, but I'm so glad that I've done them. It's such a nice feeling to know that I've come this far and I am here now, and it's just like, yes, bitch. Don't be scared to face your fears, because I had to do it and it's actually the best thing I did, and it was terrifying moving away and terrifying to take that like jump and actually to push myself to go, but it was the best thing I ever did. And then again, to face the fear of going back. It was weird to think that I was so scared to go back to a place where I lived for so long. I didn't really want to see her, but to see my mum after so many years, I'm kind of glad that I've done it now. I've kind of closed that chapter in my life, and I feel like coming back from Devon and coming back into London, and I felt like I was coming home. I feel like that's done now, and I don't need to go back. I don't really have a reason to go back there now. Like if people want to see me, they can come here, but I can't physically go back to that place anymore. Like, I've closed that book and I don't want to be there anymore. It's over now. Like that side of me is over, which is also added on to why I had to rebrand to myself and I wanted to restart, because since moving to London, I've realized so much about myself and how I'm not that person anymore. You may seem happy now, but sometimes you just need to move away and start again to realize how happy you can actually be. So don't be scared to be yourself. Don't be scared to take that jump, and don't be scared to push yourself to do more. Don't settle for okay. Try your hardest to do things. Like, if something doesn't scare you, it's probably not worth doing. You want to do things that like push you to your limits and actually scare you and actually like a bit sort of like scary, because if you don't push yourself like that, you'll just stay in like the same sort of situation and just flatline for your life, and you'll look back and you realize like, I really wish I took that jump. I really wish I pushed myself then. I really wish I did this. Don't be like I really wish person. Like, be the person like I did what I wanted to do. I'm annoyed with myself that I held back for so long and I didn't move away sooner, because it was the thing that I needed to do. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Please hit the like button, does really help me out, guys, and I'll see you very soon. Bye!
What is... It looks like felt!
I eat the brown part first, and then the white part.
It smells funny, Stephan, I'm scared. It looks like felt. It looks like fabric.
We usually just eat it. He doesn't like it.